Welcome to the Prologue. Hey, I'm Faith.
I'm Carissa.
And we're launching a podcast called Millennial Bookshelf, a podcast from two millennials reading current titles through the lens of the books that shaped us as young adults. Carissa, why don't you tell everyone what qualifies us to do this?
Okay, so for one, we are millennials, obviously. We read a lot of books. But for me personally, I think one of the things that we bring to this is that we have very different backgrounds when it comes to what we're reading and how we're reading. So for me, I come from a background of I worked in the libraries for a decade. I'm a print reader. I read on the Kindle. Like, this is like my perspective and my world and my vibe. And then you've got like a whole different perspective.
Yes. So my perspective, I listen to audiobooks. I am the audiobook girl of the two of us. I also just recently got a Kindle, so I am getting more into reading on my Kindle, which I love. It's a nice change of pace from listening to audiobooks all the time. And I am the one who read insane amounts as a young adult and as a child, and then in college kind of stepped away from my reading. I was always reading something, probably Lord of the Rings, if we're being honest. And then I kind of recently, in the past, I want to say 2 to 3 years, rediscovered a love for reading. So that's where I come from with this.
Yeah, my love of reading came back recently with the whole like Sarah J. Maas.
I think
like,
we're going with Maas.
We're going with Maas. I'm still like way not into like the book. I just appreciated a good book. It was great. It was amazing.
Yes. So that was Sarah J. Maas brought you back.
Yeah, Sarah J. Maas brought me back. Go team. So
go team.
The thing too that I think that people probably aren't going to see, or like we're not probably going to touch on, is that you have like 5 years of experience podcasting.
So, oh, like, yes. That is a qualification for this.
Yeah.
So if you are a fan of Enjoy the Sass, hello, welcome to Millennial Bookshelf. That was my podcast for 5 years, still is, but we're taking a break so that we can dive fully into Millennial Bookshelf. So that is my qualification. You were a librarian, I'm a podcaster, and what a beautiful
teaming up, and it's going to be amazing and wonderful, and it's so much fun already. Like
we've been having a blast.
We've been having a blast. It's been great.
Yes, it's been so much fun. So you came back to reading with the Sarah J. Maas world, the universe that is. I found the book on my bookshelf that is,
I know, I'm so excited,
next to me. It is called In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle. My best friend Kylie recommended this book to me because I was going to go sit for a long time and I needed a book, and she was like, this is one. I didn't read that entire time I was supposed to sit for a long time, but I picked it up one day when I had a day off and I read the entire thing in one day. So
what were you sitting for so long?
I was going to be on a TV show. So the game show. Yes, fun fact. Fun fact awesome. Corner. Okay. I was on a game show. I had to sit there for quite a long time, so I wanted a book, but I ended up just hanging out with all of my fellow contestants and we had a great time. So, but In 5 Years by Rebecca Searle was the book that brought me back to reading, and I have not stopped since. So go read awesome. That. I highly recommend it.
I need to check that out for sure.
Yes, we should have a Millennial Bookshelf TBR.
Yes,
that is just a running TBR.
Yep,
we'll figure out where to put that, guys. We're still in the process.
Yeah. We'll link the spreadsheet. It'll be a good time. It'll be a great
spreadsheet. Fantastic idea. Carissa will make it look super pretty, and it'll. So, let's talk about who this podcast is for.
Well, obviously millennials. Obviously, people who love to read for fun, but like aren't knees deep in book talk. Like, took me I was on TikTok and I saw this book about this one author, and like everybody was reading it and everybody was talking about it. But I'm not really deep into like super like conspiracy theories and like what are all the
yes, all
next,
the things.
Move on, like next book, like let's kind of like do that kind of thing. So this is for people who aren't really into like book talk or for
what's
Instagram or what's trendy or whatnot. We're just going to be talking about books that we find enthralling, books that are maybe a little bit more reminiscent of what we read when we were kids.
Yeah.
Things like that. So exactly. Like, we're just here for the fun of it.
We genuinely love books. We love books. One of my biggest priorities moving into Y'all, I'm from Texas. Sometimes
We're
you're
from
going to hear
Texas.
it,
It's a good
okay?
time.
It's
It's gonna come
fine.
out.
One of my biggest priorities moving into my house was making sure that my bookshelf was set up in my office. I kid you not. I went to Target with my Christmas gift cards and I bought a bookshelf, and I need another one or 5 because it's already overflowing. So we genuinely love books. And we want this podcast to be for people who are just getting back into books, who love books like we do, but also maybe you just need some good recommendations of new books, old books, any kind of books to read. That's why we're here.
Yeah, sometimes you're just getting back into it and you don't know where to start. So here we are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So here we are.
So let's run through, or what can people who are listening like expect from our episodes? Like what are we going to be talking about?
Yeah, so we're going to be a bi-weekly podcast. So we'll be in your ears every 2 weeks, which is very fun, with new episodes talking about some really fun books, like we said, maybe a little bit of Fourth Wing. Maybe we're going to conquer some Sarah J. Maas with Carissa as she's finishing out her journey. And as am I. I'm still working through them too. And then I'm really excited to talk about maybe some of the books that each of us might have missed as young adults that we
Yeah, because
didn't read,
I've never read like Lord of the Rings ever,
and I've
which
never read Twilight.
yeah, which was like a rite of passage, and from
Yeah,
my perspective. So like that how have we not? Yeah,
exactly. So those feel like qualifiers to make us legitimate book podcasters. So we're gonna dive into those as well, but keep up with the new things, the fun things, and revisit the classics like that we all know and love as well. So I'm very excited for this journey. I've already been reading so much, and this is just like
so
just
fun.
adding to it. It's so fun. So fun. I'm just bubbling over with excitement. Carissa, do you want to tell everyone about our socials, how they can keep up to date with everything going on?
Yeah, so you can follow us. Follow us.
We're doing great on the
We're
speaking.
doing great. So you can follow us on at Millennial Bookshelf on Instagram, TikTok. It's also our website, millennialbookshelf.com. But also, in case you're wondering, this is how you friggin' spell millennial.
It's a weird word.
Llennial. So it's 2 L's in the middle and 2 N's in the middle.
Make sure you know.
I only have 1 L, or sometimes I'll have 1 N and 2. I don't know how to spell.
I let autocorrect take the lead every time. So
100%.
you know, we're just out here using the most complicated word for the entire basis of this podcast.
Hey,
it's great.
And the boomers gave us this title, so you know what? We might as well
Exactly.
embrace
It's their fault. We'll embrace it. And a lot of times you'll hear us call ourselves MBP. So you can call us MBP or Millennial Bookshelf, and we will respond to all of the above. It's going to be a great time.
It's going to be so much fun.
All right, guys, that's the prologue. So whether you're here for the books or the banter, we'll see you guys in chapter 1. Bye.